I live near here, where I have a farm, and I am a wine cellar and a butcher as well, and I like to become acquainted with worthy people. Your sighs as you read the notice drew me towards you."
Liu Bei replied, "I am of the imperial family. Liu Bei is my name, and I wish I could destroy these yellow turbans and restore peace to the land. But alas, I am helpless."
"I have the means," said Zhang Fei. "Suppose you and I raised some troops and tried what we could."
This was happy news for Liu Bei, and the two betook themselves to the village inn to talk over the project. As they were drinking, a huge, tall fellow appeared, pushing a handcart along the road. At the threshold, he halted and entered the inn to rest a while, and he called for wine.
"And be quick," added he, "for I am in haste to get to the town and offer myself for the army."
Liu Bei looked over the newcomer item by item, and he noted the man had a huge frame, a long beard, a vivid face like an apple, and deep red lips. He had eyes like a phoenix's, and fine bushy eyebrows like silkworms. His whole appearance was dignified and awe-inspiring. Presently, Liu Bei crossed over, sat down beside him, and asked him his name.
"I am Guan Yu,"
replied he.
"I am a native of the east side of the river, but I have been a fugitive on the waters for some 5 years, because I slew a ruffian who, since he was wealthy and powerful, was a bully. I have come to join the army here."
Then Liu Bei told Guan Yu his own intentions, and all three went away to Zhang Fei's farm, where they could talk over the grand project. Zhang Fei said,
"The peach trees in the orchard behind the house are just in full flower. Tomorrow we will institute a sacrifice there, and solemnly declare our intentions before heaven and earth, and we three will swear brotherhood and unity of aims and sentiments. Thus will we enter upon our great task."
Both Liu Bei and Guan Yu gladly agreed. All three being of one mind, next day they prepared their sacrifices: a black ox, a white horse, and wine for libation. Beneath the smoke of the incense burning on the altar, they bowed their heads and recited this oath.
"We three, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei, though of different families, swear brotherhood and promise mutual help to one end. We will rescue each other in difficulty. We will aid each other in danger. We swear to serve the state and save the people. We ask not the same day of birth, but we seek to die together. May heaven, the all-ruling, and earth, the all-producing, read our hearts. If we turn aside from righteousness or forget kindliness, may heaven and humans smite us."
They rose from their knees. The two others bowed before Liu Bei as their elder brother, and Zhang Fei was to be the youngest of the trio. This solemn ceremony performed, they slew other oxen and made a feast to which they invited the villagers. 300 joined them, and all feasted and drank deep in the peach garden. The next day, weapons were mustered, but there were no horses to ride. This was a real grief, but soon they were cheered by the arrival of 2 horse dealers with a drove of horses. "Thus does heaven help us," said Liu Bei. And the 3 brothers went forth to welcome the merchants. They were Zheng Shiping and Su Shuang from Zhongshan. They went northwards every year to buy horses. They were on their way home because of the yellow turbans. The brothers invited them to the farm, where wine was served before them. Then Liu Bei told them of the plan to strive for tranquility. Zheng Shiping and Su Shuang were glad, and at once gave the brothers 50 good steeds, and beside 500 ounces of gold and silver, and 1,500 pounds of steel fit for the forging of weapons. The brothers expressed their gratitude, and the merchants took their leave. The blacksmiths were summoned to forge weapons. For Liu Bei, they made a pair of ancient swords. For Guan Yu, they fashioned a long-handled curved blade called Green Dragon Saber, which weighed a full 100 pounds. And for Zhang Fei, they created a 10-foot spear called Serpent Halberd. Each two had a helmet and full armor. When weapons were ready, the troops, now 500 strong, marched to Commander Zhou Xing, who presented them to the Imperial Protector Liu Yan. When the ceremony of introduction was over, Liu Bei declared his ancestry, and Liu Yan at once accorded him the esteem due to a relation. Before many days, it was announced that the rebellion had actually broken out, and a Yellow Turban's chieftain, Chen Yuanzhi, had invaded the region with a body of 50,000 rebels. Liu Yan bade Zhou Xing and the three brothers to go out to oppose them with the 500,000 troops. Liu Bei joyfully undertook to lead the van and marched to the foot of the Daxing Hills, where they saw the rebels. The rebels wore their hair flying about their shoulders, and their foreheads were bound with yellow turbans. When the two armies had been drawn up opposite each other, Liu Bei rode to the front, Guan Yu to his left, Zhang Fei to his right. Flourishing his whip, Liu Bei began to hurl reproaches at the rebels, crying, "Oh, malcontents, why not dismount and be bound?" Their leader, Chen Yuanzhi, full of rage, sent out one general, Deng Mao, to begin the battle. At once rode forward Zhang Fei, his serpent halberd poised to strike. One thrust, and Deng Mao rolled off his horse, pierced through the heart. At this, Chen Yuanzhi himself whipped up his steed, and rode forth his sword raised ready to slay Zhang Fei. But Guan Yu swung up his ponderous green dragon saber, and rode at Chen Yuanzhi. At the sight, fear seized upon Chen Yuanzhi, and before he could defend himself, the great saber fell, cutting him in halves. Two heroes new to war's alarms ride boldly forth to try their arms. Their doughty deeds 3 kingdoms tell, and poets sing how these befell. Their leader fallen, the rebels threw away their weapons and fled. The official soldiers dashed in among them. Many thousands surrendered, and the victory was complete. Thus this part of the rebellion was broken up. On their return, Liu Yan personally met them and distributed rewards, but the next day, letters came from Imperial Protector Gong Xing of Qingzhou region, saying that the rebels were laying siege to the chief's city, and it was near falling. Help was needed quickly. "I will go," said Liu Bei, as soon as he heard the news, and he set out at once with his own soldiers, reinforced by a body of 5,000 under Zhou Xing. The rebels, seeing help coming, at once attacked most fiercely. The relieving force, being comparatively small, could not prevail, and retired some 10 miles, where they made camp. "They are many, and we are but few," said Liu Bei to his brothers. "We can only beat them by superior strategy." So they prepared an ambush. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, each with a goodly party, went behind the hills, right and left, and there hid. When the gongs beat, they were to move out to support the main army. These preparations made, the drum rolled noisily for Liu Bei to advance. The rebels also came forward, but Liu Bei suddenly retired. Thinking this was their chance, the rebels pressed forward and were led over to the hills. Then suddenly the gongs sounded for the ambush. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei poured out from the right and left as Liu Bei faced around to meet the rebels. Under a 3-side attack, the rebels lost heavily and fled to the walls of Qingzhou city. But Imperial Protector Gong Xing led an armed body to attack them, and the rebels were entirely defeated and many slain. Qingzhou was no longer in danger. Though fierce as tiger soldiers be, battles are won by strategy. A hero comes, he gains renown, already destined for a crown. After the celebrations in honor of victory were over, Commander Zhou Qing proposed to return to Youzhou. But Liu Bei said, "We are informed that the Imperial Commander Lu Zhi has been struggling with a horde of rebels led by Zhang Jiao at Guangzhong. Lu Zhi was one of my teachers, and I want to go help him." So Liu Bei and Zhou Qing separated, and the three brothers and their troops made their way to Guangzhong. They found Lu Zhi's camp, were admitted to his presence, and declared the reason of their coming. The commander received them with great joy, and they remained with him while he made his plans. At that time, Zhang Jiao's 150,000 troops and Lu Zhi's 50,000 troops were facing each other. Neither had any success. Lu Zhi said to Liu Bei, "I am able to surround these rebels here, but the other two brothers, Zhang Ba and Zhang Lian, are strongly entrenched opposite Huang Fusong and Zhu Zun at Yinzhuan. I will give you 1,000 more troops, and with these you can go to find out what is happening, and we can then settle the moment for concerted attack." So Liu Bei set off and marched as quickly as possible to Yinzhuan. At that time, the imperial troops were attacking with success, and the rebels had retired upon Changshe. They had encamped among the thick grass. Seeing this, Huang Fusong said to Zhu Zun, "The rebels are camping in the field. We can attack them by fire." So the imperial commanders bade every man cut a bundle of dry grass and laid an ambush. That night, the wind blew a gale, and at the second watch they started a blaze. At the same time, Huang Fusong and Zhu Zun's troops attacked the rebels and set their camp on fire. The flames rose to the very heaven. The rebels were thrown into great confusion. There was no time to saddle horses or don armor. They fled in all directions. The battle continued until dawn. Zhang Lian and Zhang Ba, with a group of flying rebels, found a way to escape. But suddenly, a troop of soldiers with crimson banners appeared to oppose them. Their leader was a man of medium stature, with small eyes and a long beard. He was Cao Cao.